Welcome back to the ZX family. Appreciate all the love that you guys show on a regular day-to-day basis. We're going to be talking about market analysis, talking about the broader market, see what's happening. And again, we're making this a series on the channel every single day. Market analysis update is going to come out live for you guys. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and you guys are liking the video and your bell icon is on so you're notified every time we upload. So looking across the board, as we are starting off November 5th, as of Wednesday, we did see, quite a bullish day across the board. But again, we need to zoom out. Yes, you're seeing a lot of coins up right now, a lot of double digit gainers across the board, but have people already forgotten that, the projects on the weekly and the monthly time frame still down to 30-40%? That's something people don't even look at. But this is what the beauty of doing a day-to-day analysis, and we can kind of see these things, and these things, like I said, should not be ignored. So yes, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce, obviously a little bit of a relief rally. Again, something we've talked about on the channel. And again, whether you're holding Solana right now, Algorand, VeChain, Litecoin, whatever the case may be, this does apply because this is a market analysis update. So again, looking across the board, you can see for yourself everything over the last 24 hours is up. But again, we kind of need to zoom out and take a look at what has been happening for the crypto space over the last, few weeks, especially the last, 2 to 3 days. That's something we just don't want to be ignoring right now for the crypto space. But with that being said, let's take a closer look and see what's happening. Before we do that, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. As far as the market cap of the crypto market is concerned, it's gone up about 4.5%. And you can see for yourself the 24-hour trading volume for the crypto market is actually on the decline rather than, being up. So that's something also we don't want to, forget when we are analyzing. But take a look at this. This is quite funny to me because, Cointelegraph posted this: Bitcoin $100,000 is key. And, if we lose it, 87,800 opens up, relief rally may fade around $107,000. That is so crazy because your boy Crypto ZX talked about this exact thing over the last two updates. If you recall watching my market analysis update, and look at what I replied. Did you watch my last two updates? Because we thinking alike. And I still stick with that. I'm going to share obviously as to what's really going on right now. Obviously, if you're looking at the Bitcoin dominance side of things, you could see for yourself dominance, went up literally to that 61.3% as we know yesterday. Since then, the dominance has been on a decline. And obviously that is giving altcoins a push towards the upside. But most importantly, Bitcoin is something you want to be paying very close attention to. So let's take a look at Bitcoin on an hourly perspective first and foremost and see what's happening. So yesterday, of course, we dropped below the 38.2, came down to $98,900 price point again for the first time since June. And we have seen this uptick since then. Obviously, a little bit of a bounce is going to happen. The $100,000 price point, major liquidity around that range. And if you've been watching the market analysis update, you guys know that I was expecting the market and the price of Bitcoin to see a bounce from that key support line. That's exactly what you're seeing happening. Bitcoin did come up to $104,600 price point. Again, I'm not surprised. If you think I'm going to be surprised, no, we're not surprised at this bounce again, after having such a significant pullback in such a short span of time. You can see for yourself, we were literally on November 3rd at the 110,000 $759 price point. We saw Bitcoin going down almost 11%, and this is the largest asset in the crypto space, leading indicator, of course. And that is quite a substantial move towards the downside. So after about an 11% pullback, you are going to see a little bit of a bounce, and we have seen that right now for Bitcoin, as you can see for yourself. And I even stated to you guys before, we could make the price back up to the $107,000 even, and even then I am not too optimistic. I'm not too optimistic for the price of Bitcoin unless we get back above $117,000 and stay above there. But right now you can see, yes, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce. Obviously it might seem very exciting, but you also need to understand when we did come down to the $110,000 price point, we did see Bitcoin slowly but surely, make its way back up to the $116,277, just below our confirmation zone. But again, that was short-lived, and you can see the par prices of the overall market, pulled back down to these key levels. So right now, yes, we're seeing a little bit of excitement. This might seem like, oh, you know what, this is this is it. We're going to see the market, pumping from here on. But we need to still look for confirmations, to be quite frank with you. And what I mean by that is we still need to see Bitcoin, reclaiming back above, key levels. And maybe if the government shutdown comes to an end, maybe we do see Bitcoin, recovering again. Historically speaking, as I've stated to you guys before so many times, historically speaking, we're still in a bull market. Around this time, you should see bullish momentum. We haven't seen that. We have not seen that. If you're looking at the other markets are thriving, yet crypto is lagging behind. It could be manipulation. It could be market makers really stepping in to, really fill this wick. Usually, as I stated to you guys before, that does tend to happen. And we did actually see the price of Bitcoin, reclaim it back down to this range. And, obviously filling this wick and obviously dropping below $100,000 price point. So again, we did retest below $100,000. But again, I'm not buying this move just yet. Of course, there is a chance of, Donald Trump coming in and talking positive about cryptos. Those are things that would, of course, have a positive impact on the crypto markets. But until then, I still think, Bitcoin has a little bit more downside, which means altcoins could still see a little bit more downside, in my opinion. And that's as long as we are, around these levels, I still think that is in the picture. Because if you're looking at it on a daily perspective, how I see Bitcoin getting down to this range is pretty much following these two trends that we have seen in this bull market. And you can see for yourself, 33% pullback both times. And if you put that into perspective this time around, we have introduced ourselves, people are forgetting, we introduced ourselves, below $100,000, for the first time in since June. And I don't think it's over just yet. I think we're going to reintroduce ourselves. We might see a fake out even up to $107,000. But again, I am still thinking, Bitcoin does come down to some of these levels. Again, if you want to put it into perspective, I personally think, Bitcoin could come down to the 61.8 still. And, then the sooner this happens, in my opinion, the better it is. Might not end up going down to the 61.8, maybe to the point 50. But just a part of me thinks, we're going to see this pattern playing out. A lot of people probably starting to, get bullish, with this move. And I'm pretty sure, market makers are going to come and do the complete opposite, meaning, shake out, the leverage positions, which we have been seeing. Whether you're on the short side of things, whether you're on the long side of things, it doesn't matter where you are, you've been impacted by it. And on CT, you can see people have been getting liquidated quite massively, and that is something, it's unfortunate. But again, you need to learn that you want to stay away from leverage trading platform, because manipulation can really come and wipe out your positions much faster than you think. So right now, yes, we're seeing a bounce. Wouldn't even be surprised if the price of Bitcoin gets down up to these levels. But again, I'm still projecting a little bit more downside. But if you're like obviously making some profits, you were able to the swing trade, maybe if you want to say, on the spot side of things, and you're up right now. And yes, you are up. There's a lot of coins that are up double digits. If you're up, and you don't want to obviously risk the fact that the price of Bitcoin could drop lower, then obviously lock some profits in. Obviously, if you're dollar cost averaging in for the long haul, then it doesn't matter. Patience is your number one key to follow. I'm sure you guys know that. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Do you guys agree with this overall take? Do you guys disagree? I'm still, thinking that maybe yes, Bitcoin gets up to these levels, but I still think there is more downside left in Bitcoin before we start really heading towards the upside. As far as the super cycle is concerned, super cycle, I think it's a stretch, but we might see the market actually extending into 2026, because of what we are seeing over the last, few, I would say a month and a half at this, a month and a half or so, we've been seeing, this type of price action. So maybe we do see an extension into 2026. But again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys personally think, whether or not you guys think that's going to happen, whether or not you guys think, you agree with me or not. Let me know. And yeah, thanks for all your support. We'll see you later when Crypto ZX and